I'm glad to see y'all made it back to another episode of Sleeper Barbecue. Today we're going to have another quick one. I did a crab meat stuffed rainbow trout the other day, and I had a little less, or a little more rather, than a half a pound of the crab meat left, and I want to use it up before it goes bad. It's just too costly anymore to just throw something like that away. But I have a confession too. You know, I live by listen to your elders. Your elders are the ones that have been there, done that before you have. And I relived that theory or that thinking myself. Russ Jones of Smoky Ribs told me a long time ago, don't smoke, you know, seafood like crab meat. You know, there's a specific wood, like an alder wood. Loderman Jack sent me some wood, but like I said, it was just a small little amount left. I just wanted to try something while I was there. I didn't want to waste the wood that Loderman gave me. I'm going to save it for, you know, a bigger planned cook. But anyhow, you know, listen to your elders. Russ, you're absolutely correct. I put some a little bit of pecan smoke on that little bit of crab meat that was left, and it just don't taste right. I'm not going to eat it without mixing into something and trying to drown that smoke taste out of it. So today we're going to make crab balls. We'll bring you back. Thank you, Russ. I should have listened to you, buddy. All right, we are back. You're probably going to hear the inductive burner that I use out here in the cook area. I don't have a full-blown stove. Everything I cook is on some type of a grill or griddle, whether it be a pellet smoker or a wood smoker. But so that's my substitute stovetop. Like I said, this is only a half a pound of meat. The full recipe actually calls for a whole pound of meat. So I'm going to have to cut things back a little bit. Alright, so we got our egg in there. I'm just going to go ahead and give that a little bit of a beating. Mostly so I don't have to do all this with the crab meat in there, because, I mean, really, ideally, you try to be less aggressive once the crab meat is added to anything, a crab cake, crab balls. Basically because of the, turn that off, basically because the meat will just break into smaller pieces, and that's what you don't want. You want to keep the pieces larger. Right off the bat, I'm out of Worcestershire, so I'm going to use a little bit of teriyaki sauce. It only called for, keep continuing to make a mess here, a teaspoon of Worcestershire anyway for a whole pound. So I'm just going to put a few drops of this teriyaki sauce in there and hope that it works as a good substitute. All right, calls for a tablespoon of Old Bay. I'm still going to keep it around 3/4 of a tablespoon of the Old Bay. We have our egg. We have a couple drops of teriyaki sauce. It's calling for a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. I'm not really a Dijon mustard person, but I am a stone ground mustard person. Love this stuff. So we're going to go ahead, and put some in there. That's probably about, I don't know, maybe a little more than half of a teaspoon, but that's okay. I'm just good for making messes today. I'm not really a bread type person in crab cakes or crab balls. I really prefer Ritz crackers. But I wanted to try these French bread croutons. Huge fan of them. I had a bad habit. I actually had to stop eating these things. This was my sit in the chair and watch TV snack every night for the longest time. And give me a few nights and I would kill this whole bag of croutons. So We're going to substitute the bread because I'm not, again, a fan of it. But we're going to put the croutons in the crab ball mixture. They're seasoned. I'm just sort of kind of curious what the kind of flavor they're going to bring. Now it says 3 slices of bread for the recipe, but again, that's for a whole pound of crab meat. This is only a half a pound. I don't even know what it's going to look like, but we're going to put almost all of this in here. You know what? We're going to put it all in there. Then we're going to put, what else we're going to put in here? I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. It does not call for garlic, but I'm a garlic person. So that's going to be about half a teaspoon of garlic. It does not call for lemon. I am going to put a squirt or 2 of lemon in there. It calls for a tablespoon of parsley. This is parsley from my own garden this year that I'm going to add in there. Probably not going to go a whole tablespoon. Again, this is not a pound of crab meat. And then lastly, we have to put mayonnaise in here. And it calls for a tablespoon of mayo. So we're going to go in probably like 3/4 of a tablespoon of mayo. And mayo isn't mayo unless you use Duke mayo. All right, we're going to mix this stuff up. Alright, we got that somewhat mixed up. This is about the half pound of the claw meat that I picked back in June and put it in the freezer. But thawing it yesterday, like I said, I didn't want to waste this little bit. This is the smoked crab meat that I was referring to. Mind your elders, Mr. Russ Jones. And he was 100% right. I tell you what, that was actually horrible. All right, we got one last ingredient. We're going to use some sriracha in here. That's a good tablespoon. More of the fold. And I'll have to wash my hands here shortly because of the egg on there, but you know, this is what I'm used to. When I'm making them, this is how I make them. I use my hands. So we're going to put a little bit of this Uncle Steve's Gator Shake on top of them all. Give them a little bit of a roll. These little teeny crab balls are going to be Mrs. Sleepers, aka Michelle. Uncle Steve Shake, Gator Shake, get you some. All right, we're gonna let these start to brown. We'll bring it back here in a minute. All right, they're starting to brown up a little bit. All right, let's give them a little bit of a stir here. Do this without making a big mess. But I think it turned out great. It did get rid of that heavy smoke taste to the seafood. A couple of them got away from me in frying them, but I think it does need another egg in there to help hold them together a little bit more, but great. I think they're great. See if we can show you the inside of one of them. There it is. Good stuff, I'm telling you. Try the recipe. Add a little more egg. I think you'll be happy. I think I still rather substitute it with Ritz crackers. All right, pardon me. Still eating them crab balls. Excellent. Try the recipe. Like I said, I'd probably add a little bit more egg to it if it was me. Definitely if it's a full pound of crab meat. That's what I would do. And then maybe just use, I'm just a fan of using those Ritz crackers. I just think they give you a better taste. Add something, you know, to the recipe. But that's my opinion. I'm Lance from Sleeper Barbecue from St. Mary's County, Maryland. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you on the next one. Thank y'all.